you guys, I am getting some stuff done around my office and I thought that we would do a video today. Now, one of the questions I have been getting a ton of recently is specifically regarding what exactly am I doing in my business in order to achieve everything that you guys see here. I am constantly working on improving business here, and I am by no means a perfect reseller, but I have been able to significantly grow my business in the last several years. So I pulled about 5 things that I think have really made a huge impact in my business that I have been doing consistently for the last several years. So number 1 is I am constantly looking for ways to improve systems. So if you're thinking that you don't have a system, you probably do have a system. It's just a process for every single thing that you do. For instance, this inventory system behind me, the way we put away items, the way we keep track of everything, this has changed over time, and it's because I'm constantly looking for ways to improve that system and to make it better. Better to me means it takes less time, it's less confusing, and in the long short, it makes more money. We have switched our inventory system many times, and this one is one I have stuck with the longest, and it has been the best. But that's not the only system I have looked at changing. If you look back like several years ago, on really any process I did over the last few years, it has significantly changed. Maybe the details that have changed are very small, but you can see an overall huge change in the way that we do things. For instance, we used to have buckets where we would put things that we were scheduling out, and now we just put them into inventory, go ahead and schedule them, and don't worry about it. And so I'm always looking for ways to cut steps and make things easier for myself, for my team, and for my customers. And the more successful you become in reselling, you start to realize that most of getting better is just small little tweaks and constantly refining what you are currently doing. And number 2, mindset is everything. This one is so super important. If you only get one from today's video, this is the most important one. And that is your mindset is everything. It can change the way that you do things. It can change your outlook. It can change your sales. I intentionally put myself in an uplifting, positive environment and keep that mindset. They say you are the combination of the 3 people that you are closest to. And I think that that is also true in your reselling business. So no shade to anybody, but if you are constantly subscribing to communities where everybody is complaining, they have a victim mentality, and no one sees anything getting better, and they confirm you in your identity that you are constantly going to be a failure in your business and that there's no way out, well, guess what? That's what you're going to believe. If you get nothing else from this, work on developing a way to change your mindset into something that is motivating, something that is positive, and something where you actually believe you can do this. Someone posted this question in our Resellers Edge group, and I thought it was an amazing question. I actually just posted it today, just as a post on YouTube and Instagram, so I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say about it. But the question was, what is the difference between a reseller who wants to succeed and a reseller who actually succeeds? And I want you guys to think about that for a moment, because I think that is such a great question. So what's the difference? I think once I get some responses to that question, I will more than likely do a whole video on the overall tips and suggestions that people had. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, surround yourself with people who will actually hold you accountable, and surround yourselves with people who are going to give you the truth, even if it is blunt or harsh, because that is the only way to make changes in your business. If you truly believe you cannot get to a certain level, you will not achieve it. And I truly believe that everybody listening to this video has the capability of growing their business as big as they want to. All right, next up, number 3 is providing excellent customer service. I know this one seems super basic, but I want you guys to think about the last time you were mad at one of your customers. Did it completely ruin your day? I truly believe that this is one of the reasons that I was able to grow so quickly, is because customers really liked not only the product, but they also really enjoyed working with me. I have a lot of repeat buyers because of that. Listen, we're all going to make mistakes. Own up to your mistakes. If you accidentally ship somebody something that you said was in perfect condition, they get it and there's holes, the likelihood that they actually put those holes in the garment is slim to none. Now, I do know that there can be some like psycho customers, but generally speaking, I believe that most people are good. Most people are not out to destroy your business. And I think we need to own up to our mistakes. I take those things on the chin, I apologize to the customer, and I move on. There are also times that customers ask for just quite frankly, ridiculous and inconvenient things from me. Like they purchase an item from me and then at the very last second they need to update their address. Now obviously you got to go about those in the proper way so that you're following a platform's procedures on how to change that address, but some people would just ship that item out and not care that the customer's not going to get it. You want to do everything that you can to make your customers happy, because one sale could turn into 2 sales if they come back to your store, could turn into 3, could turn into 500 over their lifetime. Not only that, they could tell their friends and family about you. Word of mouth is important, and so is your feedback. Number 4 is I do a lot of research, and I think this is very influential in why my sales are as big as they are. It is because I am constantly doing my own research. I don't mean watching thrift hauls or what sold videos. I am actually going on to the platforms that I'm selling on and I'm figuring out by studying the solds what is trending. And I do this before I go thrifting so that I have a really good idea of what it is that I'm looking for. It really helps to narrow in specific brands, styles, fabrics, sizes, all of that stuff that I should be looking for. I cannot tell you how much my sourcing opened up once I realized I was passing on items that actually had good sell-through rates and good prices just because I simply was not seeing them in other people's videos. So research is key. I have not felt more empowered to source than I have right now. I highly recommend making this part of your routine. And you don't just have to look at platform solds, because I know that can get kind of boring, but you can also study things like a fashion influencer's account on Instagram, or go on to an article for the top 10 best golf brands. But the meat of the information really does lie in the platform solds. All right, number 5, the last one, is that I always consider opportunity cost when I am making decisions. We could probably do a whole video about opportunity cost. In fact, I've had it on my list of video ideas for probably like 2 years, along with a million other video ideas that you guys have given me. But I think in any business, opportunity cost is a very important term that we understand. And to put it into my own words, it is basically making decisions knowing that if you make this decision, then you forfeit this other decision. And you forfeit the results of the decision you did not choose. For example, and this is a small one, but if I am deciding between 2 thrift stores today and I choose to go with thrift store A, then I'm only going to find what's in thrift store A. But by not going to thrift store B, I might have missed out on the best day of sourcing that I've had in a while. Maybe thrift store B had 70 items, all with 200% sell-through rates that I could have picked up. Now, most decisions don't have opportunity costs like that example I just gave you, where you really can't determine what's the best course of action. In fact, most of the decisions that you will make in your business have a very clear, this is the result you're going to get from this decision, and this is the result that you're going to get from this decision. And unfortunately, with every decision, there's usually pros and cons to both. And I think it's really important to consider what those pros and cons are, what goals you have in your mind for your business, and do those decisions align with your goals. Here is a perfect example of opportunity costs that you guys might come across in your business. Like the decision to offer returns or not. On one hand, if you don't offer returns, the pros to that would be that, hey, you're not going to get a lot of returns. But the opportunity cost that you might be missing out on is that if you did offer returns, your sales could potentially double, increase by 50%, and the potential of increase in sales could be much, much more than the cost of maybe the couple returns that you might get. There's opportunity cost for every decision we have. Again, pros and cons to each, so you got to figure out what works for your business. But with every step I'm taking, I am thinking through what is the scenario for every decision that I make. All right, guys, those are 5 things that I have done in my business for a couple of years now that I think have made a huge impact on my sales and why I've been able to grow this business so big. I still feel like a very small fish. And like I said, I still feel like I have a ton of things to work on in my own business. But, I think we're doing all right here. If any of these things today resonated with you, I share lots of tips on this YouTube channel. Consider subscribing down below and also hitting that notification bell. That way you get notified every single time I post videos. If you guys had to pick one thing that has significantly impacted your business that you have done consistently for the last couple of years or since you've started reselling, drop them in the comments down below and let's help some other resellers out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.